Entitlement reaches all walks of life, as you'll find out in this episode of Entitled People. Our first one is from Random Lady 1969. I was reading another post on here that reminded me of this happening to me. I guess the lady assumed that because I was a mom, I owed it to her to watch her kids. This happened to me many years ago when my daughters were babies. I was on a leisurely stroll around my apartment complex, my baby in the stroller and my toddler walking around with me. We looked at grass, rocks, butterflies, etc. as we walked. Suddenly a woman backs her car up to me and jumps out pointing at me saying, You babysit for me? Yes?" She didn't give me time to answer and she moved quick as she opened her back doors and her trunk. She was grabbing out little zipper lunch coolers, blankets, and I think a few toys. Her young kids got out of the car looking scared. She continued, "You babysit my kids? I pay you?" I said, "No, I don't know you and you don't know me. Your kids don't know me." But she insisted, "I made their lunch," trying to hand me their lunch coolers. "I pay you, okay?" I insisted that I would not, and she said, "Okay, babysit them just for today then. I pay you." How long had she expected this stranger to keep her kids? I said no again and walked away. She was yelling out to me, trying to get me to babysit while I rushed away, best I could with my kids. I'd never seen that woman before in my life. Crazy. I feel like that's a surefire way to have your kids and yourself end up on the news, that you literally go up to a stranger and are basically trying to offset your children onto them, is a little concerning and makes me wonder if this person should even have custody of their children. This next one is by The Quarantinian. Lady Gaga owns 3 French bulldogs. While she was touring in Europe, she had an employee take care of them. While he was out walking the dogs one night, 2 men jumped out of a car and tried to take the dogs. During a struggle, Gaga's dog worker was shot in the chest, causing permanent injuries, including partial loss of a lung. Gaga posted on Instagram offering a $500,000 reward, no questions asked, for the return of the dogs. Not for the apprehension of the criminals to punish the attempted murder, just the return of the dogs. This distinction is relevant. 3 men, James, 18, Jalen, 19, and Lafayette, 27, were arrested and charged with a list of felonies. Jalen's father is Harold. Harold was dating Jennifer, 53. After seeing the reward offer, Jalen gave the dogs to Jennifer, who took them to the police station, turned them in, and asked for the reward. At first, no connection to the crime was made, but eventually it was determined that her boyfriend's son stole the dogs and gave them to her to collect the reward. She eventually pled guilty to receiving stolen property and received 2 years of felony probation. She then demanded that Gaga pay her the $500,000 as per her oral contract. When Gaga refused, Jennifer sued for breach of contract, fraud by false promise, and fraud by misrepresentation, asking for the $500,000 plus $15 million, on top of that for financial damages, pain and suffering, mental anguish, and the loss of enjoyment of life, plus legal fees. Her claim is that she would not have returned the dogs if not for the promised reward, and therefore was defrauded because she ended up with no dogs, to keep or to sell, this is unclear, and no reward. The judge ultimately dismissed her lawsuit with prejudice, which means she cannot attempt to file it again. Jennifer said she didn't know about the plan to steal the dogs ahead of time, but as the judge pointed out, she never claimed to not know the dogs were stolen by her boyfriend's son when she received them or when she turned them in. Notably, she never alleges that she was unaware that the bulldogs had been stolen after they were stolen or at the time that she received them. Talk about absolute deadbeats, and honestly, I don't feel bad at all for this Jennifer lady because I guarantee she knew the dogs were stolen. She's just butthurt because she got caught up in some shit thinking that she would be this innocent person that, quote, found the dogs, returned the dogs, got the money for the dogs, but that backfired real well. This next one is from Jedi Bo Jedi Prime 29. This one is from a few months ago, but still gold. There's an intersection by my work that connects two main roads, east-west, north-south. When you come to this intersection from any direction, you won't be able to turn left. There's signs everywhere telling you, no turning left. Easy, right? No, not easy. Living in that town and going to work where I work for almost a decade, I've seen so many people turn left. People usually just honk and swear, but this time, there was a cop waiting to go through east. This lady pulls up in a nice Cadillac. Nice. She's coming from the south and goes to turn. You guessed it, left. Now people see the cop. They know her getting pulled over will slow down traffic as it's a two-lane street. So panic ensues. Honking, yelling, some swearing. One guy on the street, "Lady, don't turn left! There's a cop!" Don't turn left! Don't turn left! Like a fucking chant. This lady rolls down her window the rest of the way. At this point, she's mid-intersection, going to turn left. The cop is shaking his head no. Bro looked like he was on lunch and he was pissed. Like, he's close enough I can see the sandwich bag in his car. Lady yells out, and I'll never forget, "I can do whatever the fuck I want to! I'll do whatever I want to, and if I want to turn left, I'm fucking turning left! I don't care!" And left she goes. The cop looks down. Lunchtime has been interrupted, and his windows may have closed, but you can tell someone yells, "Fuck." He turns around and puts his lights on. Of course she pulled over. She can do whatever she wants, till the cops are there. You have to love that you have, in this situation, like an entire group of people basically telling this lady not to do something, but she's so damn entitled, she needs to do it anyway. It's almost like they were challenging her to turn left by telling her not to. I hope she got a nice fat ticket. And our final one is by Happy Hatchet Maker. There's a hill on my street. I live close to the high school. Sometimes, when you drive around the parked cars, it sends you face to face with another car on the downhill. There's an extra no parking sign to remind people to not be there. House went up for sale. The realtors would park directly under no parking sign. I one day walked over to the main realtor and warned her not to park there. She'll get hit. She moved her car and believed me when she saw traffic after school let out. Another time a realtor parked there. I warned him and he responded with, "I've already been told about you. It's fine," in the most dismissive way. Teen came over the hill in Dad's old pickup and crushed the front of the guy's red sports car. Kid was not hurt and certain he was not blamed for the accident. Another case of karma. I mean, this realtor, if he had a nice red sports car, probably was making decent money and was probably the kind of asshole that loved to flaunt the money he made. Well, he'll have to flaunt his car into the mechanic if they don't total it out. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled People. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.